Artificial intelligence isn't just changing our jobs. It's changing how we think, how we relate to each other, how we measure our own worth. And the strangest part, most people don't even notice it's happening. This video isn't another warning about AI taking over. It's not about fighting the machines. It's about something far more important. Learning how to live as a human in a world that is becoming less human every single day. If you stay with me until the end, I promise you'll understand what inner security truly means in the age of AI, and why it matters more than intelligence, more than success, and definitely more than speed. Every major technological revolution in history changed our tools. The printing press, the steam engine, the internet, they changed what we could do. But this revolution is different. This one changes our identity. For the first time in history, we humans are being compared every single day to machines that never get tired, never doubt themselves, and never feel fear. You see this when you struggle to write an email, and an AI can draft 10 perfect versions in a second. You feel it when you're exhausted after a long day, but the algorithm is still working, still optimizing, still learning. In psychology, there's a term for this: comparative devaluation. It's what happens when your mind constantly, almost subconsciously, measures itself against something that feels superior in every measurable way. What's the result? You slowly, quietly lose confidence in yourself without ever fully understanding why. It's the source of that modern feeling so many of us share. This constant sense of being restless, distracted, and ultimately replaceable. This isn't a personal weakness. It's not you failing. It's your nervous system, your biology, trying to adapt to a world that is moving at a speed it was never designed for. AI rewards one thing above all else: speed. It's faster processing, faster results, faster output. But the human mind was never built for constant acceleration. Think about your most meaningful moments. Were they the fastest? Were they the moments of connection, of deep thought, of quiet understanding? Neuroscience shows us that a sense of meaning in our lives doesn't come from sheer output. It doesn't come from how much we produce. It comes from integration, from taking our experiences, our thoughts, our feelings, and weaving them together into a coherent story of who we are. When life becomes only about optimizing every minute, about being more productive, more efficient, the self starts to feel less like a person and more like a tool. Sociologists have a name for this too: instrumental living. It's when a person starts treating themselves the way a system treats a resource, something to be managed, measured, and squeezed for maximum value. This is the root of that hollow feeling. It's when people say, "I'm doing everything right. I'm checking all the boxes. I'm more productive than ever, but I feel nothing." I need you to hear this. That emptiness is not a personal failure. It's a structural one, created by the world we're building. So what do? When we live in unstable, unpredictable systems, humans have two typical reactions. We either cling harder to things we think we can control, our identity, our career success, the validation we get from others. We double down on trying to prove our worth. Or we do the opposite. We detach completely. We check out. We become cynical, and we tell ourselves that none of it matters anyway. Psychology recognizes both of these as natural survival responses. But here's the truth. Neither one creates lasting peace. Either one leads to a fulfilling life. There is another way. It's what I call inner security. It's completely different from the other two responses. Inner security doesn't come from trying to control the world outside of you. It comes from making contact with the world inside of you. Contact with your body, with your limits, with your own quiet awareness. The great spiritual traditions throughout history called this presence. Modern psychology calls it self-regulation. They are different languages pointing to the exact same truth. When you start to cultivate this inner security, something incredible happens. AI stops feeling like a threat. It stops being a competitor that you have to beat. It stops being a mirror reflecting all your supposed inadequacies. It becomes what it was always meant to be, just a tool. A powerful tool, yes, but a tool nonetheless. And a tool can never, ever define your worth as a human being. So, how do we live well in this new world? The answer is surprisingly simple, but not easy. You don't need to outthink the machines. You don't need to be faster. You need to reclaim the very things that machines will never have. Depth, slowness, The wisdom that comes from being in your body, not just in your head, what we call embodied awareness. And perhaps most importantly, your moral intuition, that gut feeling for what is right and wrong. This is the practical path forward. Use AI to assist your work, not to replace your thinking. Use it as a research assistant, a brainstorming partner, but never let it become the source of your core ideas or your final judgment. Digitize your skills, learn to use the new tools, absolutely, but never ever digitize your identity. Globalize your knowledge, use technology to learn from the entire world. But localize your meaning. Find your purpose in your community, in your relationships, in the real, tangible world around you. I believe the future belongs not to the fastest minds, but to the most grounded ones. It belongs to those who can navigate this complex new world without losing their internal compass. Every era in human history has tested the human spirit in a different way. The Industrial Revolution tested our physical endurance. The Information Age tested our ability to filter noise. This era, the age of AI, tests our attention. It tests our presence. It tests our capacity for inner security. AI will keep evolving. It'll get smarter, faster, and more integrated into our lives. That is a certainty. The real question is not about the technology. The real question is about us. Will we humans evolve inward, cultivating the depth and wisdom that makes us unique? Or will we disappear outward, becoming shallow reflections of the machines we've created? Thank you for watching. This was The Explained Mind, and this video was never really about technology. It was about remembering how to live.